Well, good morning, fellow motorcycle enthusiasts worldwide. I'm posting an update on the Yamaha Diversion 600 tyre change. If you watch my previous videos, you know exactly what tyre change means to me. It's not just a changing of tyres, it's a undertaking a confidence eroding project where one can reach the low point of thinking this bike will never run again. Why did I do it? Stupid me. I am a silly old devil. However, I think I've turned the corner on it, kind of. So I thought I'd post a series of short videos with the little updates rather than one big long giant one. So here's what I did yesterday. I decided I was having a day off. So that meant by 2 o'clock in the afternoon putting some overalls on and going out to the garage for about 4 hours. Yeah, that's a day off. It's actually, this is a good bit now. The stripping was difficult because of that bolt, the engine bolt that would not come out. But I think I've managed to, cross that difficult point, and it's now really nice to sort of put it back together. And so yesterday I put the carbs on, as you can see from these photos here. I mean, Japanese bikes, this one specifically, they're just so well designed. The inlet manifold rubbers, which are new, I got them on AliExpress for a fraction of what they cost in Britain. They've got little indentation lugs on them so that they line up with the carbs properly, and the attention to detail on Japanese bikes, in my opinion, there's no wonder they destroyed the British bike industry, which was very smug and a bit staid at the time, and they didn't innovate. So, bearing in mind this is a 30-year-old bike. So I've got the carbs on. I've ordered new neoprene tube. If you look bottom left there, that's the vacuum tap. They tend to get stiff and assume a kind of bend in them when they get old, so I'm putting new on. And there's the carbs actually in the bike. So it's a question really of just methodically going and putting things on. I've not put the wiring harness on yet because I need the carbs in place so I can get the carbs have got little heaters on the fuel bowls, and they need to be plugged in. They're not on the fuel bowls, on the carb bodies I mean. This is the ideal time to do things like replace the throttle cables. It's got a push and a pull cable, just like the Interceptors and the GTs. And I did notice when I took the old one off, there was just one frayed strand on one of the cables. So, now is the time to spend 20 quid and put a new one on. I also put the rear mudguard on. It's so simple to fit. It's got the rear light unit attached. It's a one-piece thing, quite long, and it just slots onto a lug underneath the seat mount there, and then it's held on in place with 4 bolts, 2 at the front, 2 at the back, and the battery tray is integral to it. No mucking about with metal brackets and bolts everywhere and inaccessible stuff. It's just so simple, very clever. Japanese designs are just amazing. Years ago, I lived in Japan, and I lived and worked there for about a year, and I can speak basic Japanese, which is a tricky language, but they're really good at taking an idea and developing it. That in terms of innovation, the Japanese have not invented anything, because to invent something, you have to be an individual, really, like Edison or Logie Baird or whoever. That's not in their culture. Their culture is teamwork, and they're good at taking an idea and developing it to the nth degree, far better than the original idea itself. I saw that in action, and that's what the Japanese did. They took the British bike industry, developed it and destroyed it. Justifiably, one might argue. I had those Japanese bikes, those British bikes in the 70s, and I can't say I liked them. So there it is. Anyway, sermon over. If you feel free to disagree, in the comments, if you wish. So I've got the mudguard on, which slotted straight in with the 4 screws, bolts, and I've not put the wiring harness on yet because I want everything in place, and that's a side view of it. So it's just one giant, you can see there's a stainless flange bolt just above the brake reservoir, so there's 2 of them at the front, 2 at the back, and that's it. Pretty easy, well, very easy. So I must say I've done work like this on other bikes, and when I was, a few years ago, and I was so confident, but I think as one gets older it can be a sort of, is it going to work, and I've seen too much failures, and in the end it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, I think, for me. So the House of Slick is now embracing positivity. So there's the oil assembly on, so that those 2 pipes go up to the oil cooler, which is not fitted yet. Spin-on oil filter, you can see they have a difficult life at the front there, exactly the same as the Royal Enfields. So I always fit a fender extender on any bike. I know the shorty mudguards, they can look nice and you think, oh yeah, really good stylistically, but you end up with an engine covered in filth. On my Interceptor, before I put the fender extender back on, because I had removed it, the oil filter was actually rusting really bad. So there it is, another shot of the amazing mudguard assembly. And I fitted the front fairing frame, which has also been powder coated, of course, and you'll notice from the bolt on the left there, just above the cam box cover, that I use stainless flange bolts. It's the ideal time now to ditch any hidden ferrous fasteners, which I hate rust, I really do. The fin plate is now back on, and this is the front view of the fairing frame. So I'm not going to be putting the fairings and side panels and all that back on, because I'm going to sort the paintwork out, and there'll be a big reveal, be like a sort of gender reveal for a baby, except probably more interesting, and it'll be, here it is, here's the colour. That'll be in the next few weeks. It's going to take a while to rub it all down. There's a picture of the throttle cable, push and pull. Again, the design is so good, it's got a cast alloy throttle assembly, and the cables just fit straight into it. It's really, really easy to fit. And routing it correctly is obviously the thing with cables of any sort, so I've tested it all, and anyway I photographed it when I took it off the bike. So that's the stage I've reached. At the moment it is 10:10 in Britain, and I'm thinking, will I nip out there later? I probably will, in fact I know I will. So I've ordered the gold chain that I mentioned in my previous video. The general consensus is if I go this far on changing the tyres, I may as well put a new chain on, and I think it's right. I love gold chains, and looked after, they'll stay gold. The other one is a perfectly good X-ring chain, actually. It's a shame, in a way, to change it just for appearance, but I want it to look really nice. If I've got this far, tell me what you think in the comments. Have I wasted 50 quid on a chain? Am I being seduced by appearance rather than functionality? But this whole project is about appearance, because the bike was running perfectly, MOT'd and used daily. So it's all about appearance. So I may as well do the chain. That's my logic. But anyway, feel free to put what you think in the comments, and if you've got any suggestions or any form of encouragement would be much appreciated, because I've reached that point where I'm thinking, I've just kind of got the ball rolling now. It's beginning to look like a motorcycle again. But then occasionally the little demon on my left shoulder whispers in my ear, it'll never run again. You've ruined it. Even though I've done about at least 6 complete refurbs on huge bikes like Gold Wings and XS11s, but that's age for you, everybody. And I'd welcome comments on that, actually. Not that this is a psychiatric channel, but does confidence erode as you get older because you're more aware of what can go wrong? Like I say, I've done, several complete rebuilds exactly like this, and in the past it was just gung-ho, spanners out, you know. But this one, I don't know, maybe I think it is aged, but feel free to put it in the comments. I do know the Interceptors and the GTs, they tend to attract an older rider, I think. So maybe there's people out there who have got similar, well, I won't use the word symptoms to me, but attributes where confidence erodes a bit, maybe. Anyway, I'd be interested to know whether I'm the only nutter around. In the meantime, take care on your bikes, and I'll keep posting little updates as things progress. Bye for now.